Then, pramanam is that when I surrender myself completely, in which I have Shraddha. When you talk of Shraddha and when you talk of surrender and everything else, it is a thing that already obtains today in all the pramanam. Whatever we consider as valid means of knowledge, we are total Shraddha in that. We don't question it. And we are totally our buddhi surrendered because buddhi does not question it. And Vedanta is a pramanam in revealing Jiva Brahma Aikya. And therefore, if you question it, in that case there is no end to that. And so we accept it as pramanam, meaning valid means of knowledge. We can't say it is history and stuff like that. And therefore, तथा च वयम् अस्याम् तो सर्वेषाम् वेदान्तानाम् अयमेव अर्थः तथा च वयम् अस्याम् शारीरिकमीमांसायाम् प्रदर्शयिष्यामः. These are not the only fellows who are saying that Vedantas are different Vishaya. Even before Badarayana also there were a number of acharyas. There at least half a dozen different acharyas were mentioned in Brahma Sutra. So before Badarayana composed the Brahma Sutra, there were different Mimamsas of Vedanta also, with different opinions. Bheda and Ansha, etc. Different opinions existed even then. So it's not that today's fellows are the first fellows are questioning. This is all old. Questioning is all we have been facing from the time immemorial. And so they have been there always. Not only Charvakas, but other fellows also. Even the Astikas also have their own views about this. And so this is there. So we've been trained. And we are accustomed also to questioning. And there was this emphasis it says, Yathat ayamartha sarvesham vedantanam tatha vayamasyam sharirika mimamsayam pradashaishyamaha. So it is called sharirika mimamsa. It says sharirameva sharirakam kutsitatvat. From the Panini, that ka pratyaya is in the sense of so bala, balaka. So that ka pratyaya shows a small little child, So when you want to show smallness or some ninda is being done, So sharira is called sharirakam because kutsitatvat. It is something that is ninditam, and something that is just a pack of whatever they call it. And so it is not Atma. And therefore with reference to Atma it is kutsitam, understand. Not by itself. This four bodies should not be condemned, etc. But it doesn't deserve to be called Atma. From that standpoint it is kutsitam. So kutsitam is that which is subject to the sensual. That is called kutsitam. Sharirameva sharirakam kutsitatvat tannivasi sharirakaha. This is another one, another pratyaya. So sharira nivasi, shariraka nivasi, sharirakaha. Jivaha. So one who dwells, who obtains in his body, or one is thought to obtain in the body is called sharirakaha jivaha. Tasya mimamsa is what? Brahmatva vicharaha mimamsa. That is sharirakaha. This jiva is indeed Brahma. This kind of vichara, not any other vichara. So vichara also is going to follow in this manner. Jivasya brahmatva vicharaha. That jiva is indeed Brahma. That kind of vichara is called shariraka. This is called mimamsa here. So shariraka mimamsa is sharirakasya mimamsa, shariraka mimamsa. Who is shariraka? Jivaha. Sharire bhavaha, sharirake bhavaha, sharirakaha is jivaha. And tasya mimamsa, mimamsa is vicharaha. What? Tasya jivatva mimamsa. Jivatva vichara, brahmatva vicharaha is called shariraka mimamsa. That is shariraka or jiva is indeed Brahma. That kind of vichara is called mimamsa. Tasyam mimamsayam pradashayishyamah. We shall show how upastinam chitta dwara atmaikya jnanasatvat. That upasanas do not serve an independent purpose, but upasanas serve the purpose of becoming instruments of knowledge of Atma by chitta ekagrata, chitta shuddhi and chitta ekagrata. That purification of the mind and single pointedness of the mind. This is what upasanas enable us to accomplish, and that is how they become the helpful means for Brahma Jnanam. So, Atmaikya Jnanasatvat, they serve the purpose of Atmaikya Jnanam. Tad Vakyanapi Mahatatparyam Aikye iti Vakshate. Thus, all the Upasana Vakyas also have ultimately what is Mahatatparyam? Jiva Brahma Aikyam. there is Mahatatparyam, Avantara Tatparyam. So the Jiva Brahma Ekya is the Mukhya Vishaya. The Upasana, the Chitta Ekagrata, Chitta Shuddhi, that Yoga, etc., which is also discussed in Shastra, is what? Is only Avantara Vishaya, is Avantara Tatparya of the nature of Antahakarana Shuddhi, Antahakarana Naishcharyam. But then Antahakarana Shuddhi, Antahakarana Naishcharyam also Mahatatparya. Ultimately they have also, this serves the purpose of Mahatatparya. Iti Vaksha. This is Vivakshate, or this is what will be said. Evam Adhyasa Uktya Brahmatmaikya Virodha Abhavena Vishaya Prayojanavattvat Shastram Arambhaniyam iti darshitam. And therefore, Evam Adhyasa Uktya, therefore by this discussion of Adhyasa, Brahmatmaikya Virodha Abhavena, even though there is at the moment an experiential duality between Brahma and Atma, and therefore there appears to be an apparent virodha between what the scriptures say and what I seem to experience, but my experience of the duality is born of Adhyasa, and therefore even my experience does not contradict what the scriptures reveal. So Brahmatmaikya Virodha Abhavena Vishaya Prayojanavatvat. Therefore, there is Vishaya Prayojanatvam. Shastra is possessed of Vishaya and Prayojana. Shastram Arambhaniyam. Otherwise, we cannot. Arambhaniyam is what? So, Aram-adhitya Vicharayitavyam. We must study the Shastra and we must subject and we must inquire into the meaning of the Shastra. So, Shastra deserves that. And therefore, our effort of study of the scriptures and inquiry and contemplation upon that is quite proper because Shastra is possessed of Vishaya and Prayojana. Iti darshitam. Prasama Sutrasya Prasama Varnakam Samaptam. So, Prasama Sutra is Asato Brahma Jignasa. Prasama Varnakam is first topic. Where a very important subject is discussed is called Varnakam. So, we will find that every Adhikaranam means a particular topic. In this particular case, first Sutra itself is first topic. It's called Jignasa Adhikaranam. Asato Brahma Jignasa. Jignasa Adhikaranam is called a topic of having centered around Jignasa. It has four Varnakas. First Varnakam is, Prasama Varnakam is Adhyasa Varnakam. Tomorrow we'll see Dvitiya Varnakam, Tritiya Varnakam, Chaturtha Varnakam. So, these four Varnakas are there. Of that, the first topic or first Varnaka is complete. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Karashyata Shabdasya Dvavetau Brahmana Pura Kantham Vitva Viniryato Tasman Mangalika Vubhau. Om Asa, Om Asa, Om Asa. Gocharayoho Vishaya Vishayinoho Tamah Prakashavad Viruddha Svabhavayoho Itaretara Bhavan Upapattau Siddhayam Tadharmanam Visutaram Itaretara Bhavan Upapattihi Ityadaha Asmat Pratyay Gochare Vishini Chidatmake Yushmat Pratyay Gocharasya Vishayasya Tadharmanancha Adhyasaha Tadviparyayena Vishayinaha Tadharmanancha Vishaye Adhyasaha Nithyed Bhavitum Yuktam. Before the sutra, here you will notice on the top two verses. So this is part of what they call Vaiyasika Nyayamala. The whole Brahma Sutra is divided into, it consists of some 550 sutras, and that consists of some 191 topics, which means that each topic has one or more sutras. So sometimes several sutras make up one topic, sometimes only one sutra is one topic. Like each one of the 4 sutras is 4 topics. Each sutra is a topic. And for every sutra, for every topic or what is called adhikaranam, this particular arrangement is involved in that. Every adhikaranam, it's called an adhikaranam or a topic when it is 5 elements. Vishayaha, a subject matter. Vishayaha or samshayaha, a doubt. Purupaksha, then the opinion of the vadi or the contender. And then Siddhanta, the reply of the Siddhanta, the Vedanti, and Sangati, meaning the connection that each topic has, each adhikaran has, the previous adhikaran, following adhikaran, and so forth. And so, one teacher, Bharati Tirtha Muni or Vidyaranya Muni, one of them, so he has composed what they call Nyayamala, and each one of these topics, 191 topics, for each one of the topics he has given that Nyaya. What is the Vishaya, what is the subject matter, what is the doubt, what is Purupaksha, and what is Siddhanta. All these 4 aspects are given. So we will find before each topic a set of 2 verses. The first verse talking about the Purupaksha, the Vishaya, Samshaya and Purupaksha, and second verse talking about Siddhanta. And once you have studied the Brahma Sutra, then if you just want to repeat this or simply contemplate upon the sutras, then all you may do is just study the Nyayamala and keep on repeating that, and you will get the whole idea contained in the topic. And that way Mahatmas do this. They just repeat this Vaiyasika Nyayamala, it is called. And that is how the contemplation of all the Brahma Sutras can be done. So here, that verse is Avicharyam Vicharyam Va Brahmadhyasa Nirupanat Asandeha Phalattvabhyam Na Vicharam Tadarhate. Avicharyam Vicharyam Va Brahma. This is the Brahma is Vishaya. Samshaya Avicharyam Vicharyam Va. Should we inquire into what is Brahma or not? Then Purupaksha is Na Avicharyam. You should not. Why? Adhyasa Anirupanat. That you cannot actually do the Nirupanam, or you cannot arrive at Adhyasa. You cannot prove that there is such a thing as Adhyasa. And therefore, Asandeha. Where is the question of Vichara? When there is Sandeha, you will make an inquiry into a particular statement only when there is a question or a doubt as to what the statement means. And that too, when there are 2 contradictory opinions, each of them which appears to be equally valid on account of the arguments presented by the 2 vadis, then is a question of vichara or inquiry as to which particular thing is right. About Brahma, there is no sandeha at all, and therefore Brahma is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. There is no doubt about Brahma, and therefore Brahma does not become the object of vichara, inquiry. Nor about Atma there is any sandeha, because I know what I am, and therefore there is no sandeha, doubt about me also. Therefore Atma also does not become an object of inquiry. And suppose you subject Atma to inquiry, then also knowing Atma is Brahman, so what? The moksha does not happen because Atma happens to be Brahman, and still I am not mukta. So there is no phala also of this particular inquiry. Asandeha aphatvabhyam. There is no sandeha and there is no phala. Means prayojanam. And so vichara does not serve any purpose. Na vicharam tadarhati. Tad brahma vicharam na arhati. That Brahma is not fit for being inquired into, meaning that it doesn't serve any purpose and one should not proceed with this Brahma vichara. That's the idea. There's a book here called Vaiyasika Nyayamala, and somebody has written here a Sanskrit commentary also. Vaiyasika Nyayamalakara himself has written a commentary also. So he has composed his verses and himself written a commentary in Sanskrit. Now, just to explain the Purva Paksha, he says that Atmavare Drashtavya Shrotavyo Mantavyo Nididhyasitavya iti atra Atmadarshana Phalam Uddishya Tat Sadhanatvena Shravanam Vidhiyate. What's the Vishaya or the subject matter? So this particular sutra, Athato Brahma Jignasa, which also is called Jignasa Adhikaranam, meaning the topic discussing Jignasa, or sometimes they call it Vichara Adhikaranam, topic discussing Vichara. Every sutra, as we said, addresses itself to a particular statement of the Upanishad. So that is a Vishaya, where the statement is a question whether what the meaning of that statement is. The Vishaya of this particular sutra is Atmavare Drashtavya Shrotavya Mantavya Nididhyasa. Of that Shrotavya iti atra Atmadarshana Phalam Uddishya Tat Sadhanatvena Shravanam Vidhiyate. Shrotavya means one should listen to Atma, where Shravanam means Vichara. So Atma Vicharayitavya. So one must make an inquiry into the nature of Atma. Why? Atmavare Drashtavya. Because Atma must be seen or clearly known. Then it is said earlier that knowledge of Atma gives you all the knowledges. And therefore knowledge of Atma gives you whatever you are seeking in life, fulfillment in life. And that being the case, Atmavare Drashtavya. So by knowledge of one, you gain knowledge of everything, and that is Atma. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. That also was said. That whatever is there which is dear to me is dear not for its own sake, but for the sake of Atma. And therefore Yajnavalkya says to Maitreyi, Atmavare Drashtavya. Therefore, Atma must be seen or known clearly. Darshana means as clearly as you know an object of perceived with the eye, so clearly the Atma must be known. How do you know? Shrotavya. Meaning, you must actually perform a vichara or conduct an inquiry into the nature of Atma. But it is still called Shravanam because inquiry must be performed in a particular manner, where you are listening to the teacher, and that is how, with the help of the Shruti and the Acharya, the vichara is performed. This is an excellent method of performing vichara, where the Ahankara is totally subjugated, set aside, and I identify myself with the scriptures and the teacher. And from their standpoint, I am able to inquire on the nature of Ahankara. Otherwise, Ahankara himself cannot inquire. Ahamayam kuto bhavati. Where does Ahankara come from? That is not the task of Ahankara. Shruti does it. And the Acharya does it. And I identify with it. And I am able to objectify myself. So that's the beauty of this classroom. That we are able to laugh at our own self. Which if someone tells you something outside, perhaps you will definitely object. But here, since I am not identified with myself also, and therefore I am able to laugh at myself, now that's a great thing. When I can laugh at myself, then I open I open the doors of understanding what I am. Because I set aside my present notions about myself, my agrahas, etc. And that is how I objectify my own ahankara. To put it in Bada Swami's language, there is a level where there is a dissection going on of the very ahankara. Which Ahankara himself cannot do. But I no more side with Ahankara. And this is how Shravana provides a format for Vichara. Which format cannot be provided when I am doing it by myself. So Tat Sadhanatvena Atmadarshana Phalam Uddishya. Tat Sadhanatvena Phalam is what? Atmavare Drashtavya. For the statement, Atmadarshana is Phalam. That Darshanam of the Atma, knowledge of the Atma is a Phalam. Tat sadhanatvena, and for gaining that knowledge, tat sadhanatvena, as a means for gaining that knowledge, shravanam vidhiyate. The script Shruti there does the vidhana enjoins shravanam, that you must listen to Atma. What is shravanam? Shravanam nama Vedanta Vakyanam Brahmani Tatparyam Nirnetum Anukulo Nyaya Vichara. You must understand what Shravanam is. Shravanam means, Shravanam Nama, what is known as Shravanam is Vedanta Vakyanam Brahmani Tatparyam Nirnetum. that all the Vedanta Vakyas have their Tatparya, have their purport only in Brahma. That Vedehi Anekahi Ahameva Vedya. By all the Vedas, I alone am one to be known. And so Vedanta Vakyas have their Tatparya, or they are all devoted to, committed to revealing only one thing, namely Brahman. Not creation, nothing else, only Brahman. That means Brahma is Ekameva Dvitiyam. Brahma is only truth, one without a second. And so I am not separate from Brahma, and therefore I am Brahman. Ultimately, this is what it amounts to. Nirnetum. In order to ascertain this, Anukula hai, Nyaya Vichara hai. Not only Vichara, but Nyaya Vichara hai. A logical thinking, which is Anukula Chintanam, not merely Tarka, not Dustarka, but Tarka or logic, which is conducive to ascertainment of this particular fact that Shruti's subject matter is Brahman. So there is Anukula Chintanam, that means that involves Shraddha. So Shraddha is also involved, and Vichara also, Nyaya Vichara also is involved. This is called Shravanam. And this is what the Shruti is asking us to do, that you must do this kind of Shravanam, meaning Anukula Nyaya Vichara you must do. Anukula Nyaya Vichara, not Pratikula. Sometimes the Buddhi has a tendency just to keep on raising questions and question, not questioning what the Shruti says, but understanding what the Shruti says. Because we treat Shruti as Pramanam. Like I don't question what my eye says. If I have difficulty in understanding what the eye says, then I inquire into what the eye says. I think this is yellow and the eyes are revealing that it is red. I don't say eyes are wrong. I say I thought it was yellow. How come it is red? Then perhaps I will find out some other reasons, that yesterday there was another flower, today is another flower, and therefore today it is red. And so what the eyes are revealing is right. Similarly, I think that I am Karta, Bhokta, Samsari, and Shruti says that I am Brahma. How can it be? Then I realize that Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutvam is a notion that arises on account of Adhyasa. And therefore, what the Shruti says is right. This kind of Chintanam would be, only from that Anukula Chintanam, the whole phenomenon of Adhyasa has been discovered. That there is Adhyasa, or that there is superimposition going on here. How do we come to know? Simply because Shruti says that you are Brahma. Well, I think that I am a samsari. Now who is right? If Shruti is right, then I must be wrong. How can I be wrong about my own self? Perhaps I am making a mistake here. There is a Brahma or a delusion involved here. And that is how we come to know that there is Atmanatma Adhyasa going on there. So, this is the Anukula Nyaya Vichara. Tadetad Vichara Vidhayakam Vakyam Vishaya. What's the Vishaya or the subject matter of this particular sutra? This Vakya. Atmavare Drashtavya Shrotavya. Shrotavya is the Vakya which is based on, upon which this sutra is based. Then, Brahma Vicharatmakam Nyaya Nirnayatmakam Shastram Anarabhyam Arabhyam Vaidi Sandeha. First Vishaya is Atmavare Shrotavya. What is Samshaya? Brahma Vicharatmakam Nyaya Nirnayatmakam Shastram Anarabhyam Arabhyam Va. This Brahma Sutra is Brahma Vicharatmakam Nyaya Nirnayakam Shastram. Upanishad is not based on Nyaya, Upanishad is revelation. However, Brahma Sutra is a Nyaya Grantha. Brahma Vicharatmakam. Brahma Vichara is the very Atma, or is the very content of the, or the format of which particular Shastra? Shastram Nyaya Nirnayatmakam. Shastram Anarabhyam Arabhyam Va. Should we study this Brahma Sutra? Arambha is what? Adhitya Vichara. Study and inquiring into what it means is called Arambha. So should we study this Shastra or not? It is Sandeha. Why is Sandeha? What is Sandeha? Purvottar Paksha Yukti Dvayam Sarvatra Sandeha Bijam Unnayam. That Purva Paksha gives a yukti of why it is Anarabhyam. And Siddhanta gives another yukti as to why it is Arabhyam. As a result, since both of them are yuktis, or both of them have apparently valid arguments, therefore there are two kotis here. each one of them has an equal possibility, that it is called sandeha. If one of them is very strong, then it's a different thing. But here it is sandeha because each one of them has 50% possibility. Otherwise it becomes sambhavana, that one of them is very strong. Utkata kotika samshaya sambhavana. That one possibility is 90%, other one is very little possibility, then it's sambhavana. Here it is called samshaya because each one of them could be right. Tatra, what is Purvapaksha? Third, anarabhyam tavat praptam. Purvapakshi says, anarabhyam shastra. Shastra should not be studied. What is the Purvapaksha yukti? Vishaya prayojanayoho abhavat. Because Shastra does not have Vishaya and Prayojanam. And therefore, you should not study. You should not study something which doesn't have subject matter and which does not yield any result after studying also. Sandigdam hi vichar vishayo bhavati. So, sandigdam, only where there is a doubt, sandeha, then alone that becomes vichar vishaya. Something can become an object of inquiry only when there is a sandeha or a doubt about that, as to what this is. When I know that this is japak or whatever it is, there is no question of vichar as to what it is. There is a doubt, which is this flower? And then it looks like some other flower, I think it looks like some other flower, then there is a question of vichara. Sandigdam hi vichara vishayo bhavati. Only thing that which is subject to doubt or which is doubted alone can become the object of vichara. Brahmatva sandigdam. About Brahma there is no sandeha at all. Why? Tasahi tatkim brahma karena sandehyade atma karena. We ask him, how come Brahma is not an object of doubt? And Purvapakshi asks us, tatkim brahma karena sandehyade atma karena va. Do you have sandeha or doubt about what is the nature of Brahma? Or do you have doubt about what is the nature of Atma? Please tell us. Na adhya. There cannot be any doubt about the nature of Brahma from the Upanishad because Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma iti vakya Brahmakarasya nisyat. What is Brahman is very clear from the Shruti. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So these and similar vakyas, Vijnanam Anandam Brahma, they clearly tell us what's the nature of Brahma. So we don't have any doubt about Brahma. That is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Is there doubt about Atma? Nadvidiya hai. There is no doubt there also. Why? Aham pratyena atmakarasya api nisyayat. By aham pratyaya, meaning by my perception of what I am, I know what I am. So aham pratyaya is Atma. And therefore I know what Atma is or what I am by aham pratyaya, which is directly known to me. Adhyasta atma vishayatvena bhantah aham pratyaya iti chet. Somebody says, no, your perception of yourself is wrong. We tell him. You think that you are a sukhi, dukhi, samsari. Adhyasta atma vishayatvena bhrantah aham pratyaya. In fact, upon Atma there is adhyasa, and therefore your aham pratyaya is bhrantah. Meaning, your perception that you are a jiva is a bhranti, is not real thing. He says, na, adhyasa anirupanat. Bhranti means adhyasa. Where there is adhyasa itself cannot be proven. Such a thing as adhyasa between Atma and Anatma cannot be proven or cannot be arrived at, cannot be justified. Why? Tamah prakashvat viruddha svabhavayoho jada jadayoho dehatmanoho shutrika rajatavat anyonya tadatma adhyasa na nirupayitum shakyate. There can be anyonya tadatma adhyasa between shutrika and rajata because there is sadrushya. That there is glittering in the shuktika, there is glitter in the silver, sadrushya is there. Pura samskaras are there because I've seen silver in the past and therefore I know what silver is and therefore those samskaras can be invoked. And of course there is what we call ignorance of the shuktika. There is general knowledge of the shuktika idam, but then I do not know that it is shuktika. So samagri required for adhyasa is there in case of shuktika and rajata. And therefore that paraspara adhyasa is possible. In case of adhyasa upon Atma, such samagri is not available. Because there is no sadrusha between Atma and Anatma. Why? Tamah prakashvat viruddha svabhavayoho.
Just as there is no sadrusha or similarity between light and darkness, so also Atma and Anatma being totally opposed to each other, therefore there is no sadrusha or similarity. And there is no samskara also, all this was discussed earlier. That somewhere you must have seen a real silver, then alone you can superimpose silver here. Somewhere you must have seen a real samsari, then alone you can superimpose the samsari upon the Atma. And you cannot accept that samsara is real. And so, there is even the ground for the samskara also is not there. And you cannot say that there is ignorance of the Atma. I am known to myself because Atma is self-effulgent, you say. How can you say there can be ignorance of Atma? We say that there is knowledge of the general nature of Atma, but Vishesha Jnanam is lacking. Aham Asmi, Aham Bhami is there, but Aham Purnaha, that Vishesha Jnanam is not there. So are you trying to tell us that there is Samanya and Vishesha, this kind of Amsha in the Atma? You say Atma is Niravayava. How can you separate Atma, this Samanya Amsha of the Atma, this Vishesha Amsha of the Atma? Atma is Niramsha. And therefore in no way can justify, again we have to start, now. In no way can justify the adhyasa of Atma and Anatma upon each other. So when you cannot prove or even logically establish the possibility of adhyasa between Atma and Anatma, how can you say that this Jivoham is a Bhranti? It is truth, and therefore I have no doubt about what Atma is, there is no doubt about what Brahma is. So neither Atma nor Brahma, they are subject to doubt, and therefore what's the point in doing vichara upon something about which I am clear? Tasmat abhrantabhyam shruti aham pratyabhyam nishchitasya asandigdhatvat vicharasya na vishaya asti. Tasmat abhrantabhyam, there is no bhranti or doubt about either Brahma or Atma. Shruti aham pratyabhyam nishchitasya. Brahma is ascertained from Shruti and Atma is ascertained from my direct experience. And therefore, asandigdhatvat, there is no sandeha about Atma or Brahma. So, vicharasya na vishaya asti. And therefore, this vichara about Brahma doesn't have vishaya, meaning it doesn't have any valid locus upon which you can do vichara, because there is no sandeha. Suppose even then you insist upon doing the vichara, then Napi prayojanam pasyama. So Vishaya is not there. Napi prayojanam pasyamaha. Nor do we say any prayojanam of this vichara. What's the prayojanam of vichara? Moksha. Well, ukta prakarena brahmatmani nischitevi muktiya darshanat. Suppose we already ascertain what Brahma is, satyam jnanam anantam Brahma, and we know what Atma is, karta bhokta sukhi dukhi. So by ascertainment the true nature of Brahma and Atma, I don't become mukta, I still remain a karta, bhokta, sukhi, dukhi, and therefore, what's the prayojanam? What's the big deal ultimately of determining that I am a karta, or a bhokta, or a samsari? Having spent 12 years, at the end if you come to know that I am a samsari, so what do you get out of that? Which I know without doing all this exercise also. And therefore, we do not see any prayojanam or purpose of gaining this or inquiring and ascertaining that Atma is really a Jiva. Suppose you, by all the yuktis etc., you arrive at that, then also, what is the prayojanam? Nabi prayojanam pasyamaha. So, ukta prakarana is what? Brahma is satyam jnanandam, Atma is aham pratyaya, meaning karta bhokta. In this manner, when there is an ascertainment of what is Brahma and what is Atma, muktiya darshanat, we don't become mukta. Tasmat Brahma vichara anarham, and therefore Brahma cannot become the subject matter of vichara. Iti shastram anarambhaniyam iti purvapakshaha, and therefore shastram anarambhaniyam. So why did Bhashyakara have to write this adhyasa bhashya? Only for this, because this question is there. Then Siddhanta atra uchyate, the second verse. Adhyaso ham buddhi siddha asangam brahma shruti iritam sandehat mukti bhavacha vicharyam brahma vedatah. Adhyasah aham buddhi siddha. You say adhyasa anirupanat, that you cannot arrive at adhyasa. You cannot logically justify adhyasa. He says there is no logic business here because adhyasa aham buddhi siddha. That very aham, that very sense of individuality itself is adhyasa. Whether it is logical or not is immaterial, it is there. Aham buddhi siddha. And asangam brahma shruti iditam. Brahma is asangam. And therefore, so there is a question here. Whether Brahma is karta bhokta or Brahma is asangam. Shruti says Brahma is asangam. And my experience is Brahma or Atma is karta, bhokta, sukhi, dukhi. And therefore, sandeha, there is sandeha. Whether what the Shruti says is right or what my experience says is right. Sandeha is there. And then if I come to know that the one who is taken to be karta, bhokta is indeed Brahma, then what? Mukti bhavacha, there is moksha. So Vishaya is there and Prayojanam moksha also is there. Vicharyam Brahma Vedataha. Therefore Brahma Vedataha Vicharyam. With the help of Vedas, Brahma must be inquired into. So this is what is said, Atra Uchyate. Shastram Arambhaniyam. That you must study the Shastra and subject itself to inquiry. Kutaha. For what reason? Vishaya Prayojana Sadbhavat. Because Vishaya and Prayojana, both of them are there. So what is Vishaya? What is Samshaya? Shruti aham pratyayoho vipratipatya sandigdam brahmatma vastu. Shruti says one thing and my experience says something else, and therefore the question arises as to who is right. Of course, when I study that is why they say that Swadhyaya Adhyetavya. Everyone must study their own branch of Vedas. Then we come to know Brahmavidapnodi param Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, and so on and so. Then there is a question here. The Shruti says Brahma is such and Atma is Brahma, and my experience says Atma is a Jiva, Karta Bhokta, and therefore Sandigdam Brahmatma Vastu. There is Sandeha about this Vastu which is called Brahma in Shruti and which is also called Atma by myself. What is Shruti? Ayam Atma Brahma. Shruti very clearly says this Atma is Brahma. It is Shruti Asangam Brahma Atmatvena Upadisate. Asangam Brahma Shruti Iritam. So when Shruti says Asango hi ayam Purusha, means Purusha or Brahma is Asangam, and ayam Atma Brahma, this Atma which is directly experienced by me is indeed Brahma. And thus Shruti says the Asangam Brahma is Atma. That is what Shruti says. And what does my experience say? Aham Manushya Ityadi Aham Buddhi Deha Tadatma Adhyasena Atmanam Grunnadi. Whereas I say that I am Manushya. That shows that Manushya, which is the attribute of the Deha, is taken to be I. That shows that there is Tadatma or identification with this Deha. And therefore, there is a Sandeha, whether Atma is Manushya or Atma is Brahma. And you say that Adhyasa cannot be proven, or you cannot justify Adhyasa. Adhyasasya cha durnirupanam tu alankatvam tu alankaraya. That is good. That Adhyasa is not logical is a bhushanam, not a dushanam. So this is where the Vedantis don't bother to explain. That's how anirvachaniya it is. And therefore, we are not obliged to explain something which is directly experienced anyway. You cannot deny that right now you take yourself as Sukhi and then you take yourself as Dukhi. You decide yourself what you are. If you are Sukhi, you cannot be Dukhi. If you are Dukhi, you cannot be Sukhi. But now you claim yourself to be Sukhi, then you claim yourself to be Dukhi. That shows that you are not sure of what you are. If you had ascertained knowledge about Atma, you will not cannot keep on claiming yourself to be different. In the morning I am happy, afternoon I am alright, in the evening I am sad, in the night again I am hilarious, and things like that, That shows that you are not clear about what you are. And so, some problem is there. Otherwise, consistently, you never say that I am not. See, there is no doubt about the existence of Atma. Nobody ever says I am not. And nobody ever says that I am Jada or inert. That I am existent and that I am conscious, there is no doubt. Even though the fellow is a fool or he is intelligent, he is drunk or he is whatever it is, even the greatest drunkard also, he will not say I am not. I am, that's a direct experience. Therefore, that Astitva and Bhanam is the nature of Atma, because consistently they are there. But whether you are Sukhi or Dukhi, well, that is not consistent, and therefore that requires to be ascertained. Shruti says you are Brahma. Now you say you are Karta Bhokta, and therefore Sandeha is there. And that Kartrutva Bhoktritva cannot be justified. That you cannot prove Adhyasa. We cannot be bothered about proving something which is nevertheless direct experience. And therefore you will find out some way of showing also. So Bhashyakara said that you think that certain samagri is required for Adhyasa. Some Karana Samudaya is required for Adhyasa. We say that none of them is required. Ultimately what we did is, we proved that Sadrusha also is not required, and then Purva Adhyasa, Purva Drashti, in the sense that some real Jiva must be seen, Samsara, that also is not required by Anadi Pravaha. Today's Adhyasa creates Samskara, that Samskara creates Adhyasa, Anadi is going on, so there is no necessity of saying that there is a real Samsara someplace. There is no Sadrusha required because there is no rule that Sadrusha is required. Akasha is Aprathyaksham. Upon that also people superimpose, form and color, etc. And there is no Sadrusham there. There is no rule also that Purovartini eva Vishaya, Vishayantaram Adhyastavyam, that somebody has to superimpose one Vishaya upon the other Vishaya, only something that is in front of you, meaning the object of perception. Akash is not an object of perception, and still it becomes a Adhisthanam for Adhyasa. So you dismissed all the conditions, and therefore you say, alright, now, therefore Adhyasa is possible. So we said only Sambhavana, and then we also gave the Lakshana of Adhyasa. We didn't prove Adhyasa. We only showed the Sambhavana, and we gave the proof in terms of direct experience, that we experience ourselves as Karta Bhokta. And that inference also is there because all Vyavahara is based on Adhyasa. And presumption also is there. And this Agama also is there. So all of that supported what we are experiencing. And that is how, it's not that we have proven Adhyasa, we have validated our experience of Adhyasa. That's all. We have only explained our experience of Manusyoham, Kartaham, Bhoktaham. And if we cannot prove it, we consider it as a Bhushanam and not Dushanam. So he says, Adhyasasya durnirupanatvam alankaraya. That you cannot assert, you cannot actually explain what Adhyasa is. In case of Atma Anatma, it is only alankaram, Bhushanam, not Dushanam. So Vishaya is there, and Prayojanam. Tan nischayena mukti lakshana prayojanam shrutya vidvat anubhavena cha prasiddham. Tan nischayena. That Atma is Brahma, that Atmanaha Brahmatva nischayena mukti lakshana prayojanam. That one becomes free, mukta. Shrutya prasiddham vidvat anubhavena cha prasiddham. Brahmavid apnodi param. Tarti shokam atmavid. So merely knower of Atma crosses the ocean of grief, or knower of Brahma attains the limitless. So Shruti very clearly says that knowledge of Atma as Brahman gives you freedom or moksha, and vidvat anubhavena cha prasiddham. Also it is verified by any number of vidwan or any number of wise people. So prayojanam also is there. Tasmat Vedanta Vakya Vichara Mukhena. Vedataha means what? Vedanta Vakya Vichara Mukhena. Vicharyam Brahma, Brahmana, Vichara Hartatvat, Vichara Arhatvat, Shastram Arambhaniyam iti Siddhantaha. And therefore, Vedataha Brahma Vicharyam. Brahma must be inquired into with the help of Veda means what? Vedanta Vakya Vichara Mukhena, Vichara Dvara. By the Vichara of the Vedanta Vakya, one must actually know what Brahman is. So Shastram Arambhaniyam iti Siddhantaha. Siddhanta is Shastram Arambhaniyam Vishaya Prayojana Sattvat. So this is the how these two verses explain the subject matter of the whole thing. The whole Jignasa Adhikaranam is explained here by these particular verses. And that is how, in very brief, that's their specialty, that in such brief words and few words alone, they explain the entire subject matter. Okay. Now we can proceed with the Bhashya says here, on the page 65. Says Ratna Prabha, Vicharasya sakshat vishayaha vedantaha. So Vishaya sambhav asambhavabhyam adhikaranam arachaitam puroktam smarayati. Adhikaranam requires always a samshaya. Requires a Vishaya, a samshaya, purupaksha, siddhanta. These are required for adhikaranam. So for every adhikaranam or topic, you must show what the Vishaya is, what the samshaya is, and which is what the Bhashyakara and the Tikakaras show. Says Ratna Prabha, Vicharasya sakshat vishayaha vedantaha. That what is the Vichara Vishaya is Vedanta. This was all earlier brought up. Puroktam smarayati. What has been said in the earlier commentary alone is just brought to our memory. Tesham gatarthatva agatarthatvabhyam arambha sandehe krishnasya vedasya vidhiparatvat videsya athato dharma jignasa ityadina purutantrena vicharitatvat avagatarthaha. This second Varnakam or the second section of the particular Adhikarana discusses only Gatarthatva, Agatarthatvam. Whether Vedanta Vichara has already been done or not done. So you should not do something which is already done. Sutrakara also, there is no reason for Sutrakara to compose the sutras or to write this whole Shastra if it is already done by someone else. Now earlier, Jaimini, Maharshi Jaimini has already written what they call Dharma Mimamsa, where this is a Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa, and they have done the Vichara of the entire Vedas, including Upanishads. Athato Dharma Jignasa. That's what the Mimamsakas have, this is what they have composed. There are 12 chapters and it's a very elaborate Shastra, very elaborately commented upon because it pertains mainly to the Karma Kanda. So according to Jaimini Maharshi, the Tatparya of the Vedas is in Karma. And so Amnayasya Kriyarthatvat Anarthakyam Atadarthanam. Amnayasya Kriyarthatvat. Amnaya means Veda. So Vedas Kriyarthatvat. Veda has their prayojanam only in Kriya. To make a person do. So Kriya is always in the form of Vidhi and Nisheda. Do this and don't do this. So that which is Hitakaram or that which is beneficial to me, the Shruti will say, do this. And that which will create some kind of a damage for me, Shruti says, don't do this. Because every action requires Vidhi and Nisheda. Even when you instruct somebody to make tea, don't add tea in the beginning. Add only after the water is boiling, We tell him. Or don't right away serve the tea. Leave it for 2 minutes. So, for any action there is always Vidhi and Nisheda. How to do, or what to do and what to avoid. Then alone any action can be accomplished. Otherwise, it cannot be accomplished. Therefore, Mimamsakas say that what is the main Vakya of the Vedas? Vidhi and Nisheda. Because human being requires to be told what he should do. Because we are not Sarvajna, we are not omniscient. So we don't know the scheme of the whole universe. We do not even know the scheme of our life. And therefore, since we don't have that insight, that instruction has to be given to us. And who can give us? That one who is Sarvajna. So Vedas are omniscient and therefore they tell us what to do and what not to do so that we can achieve the goal of our life. And what is that goal? Atyantika Sukha Dukkha Nivrutti. You can total elimination of dukkha and Sukha Avapti, Ananda Avapti, attainment of happiness. This is the goal. So Sukha Prapti and Dukkha Nivrutti. These are the instinctively everyone is seeking. And to achieve that goal, Sukha Prapti by Vidhi, Dukkha Nivrutti by Nisheda. Meaning, so you can attain what is to be attained and eliminate all the dukkhas in your life. That goal can be achieved by karma. Which karma? The karmas enjoined by Vedas. And so they say that any statements of Vedas which do not have this particular format of vidya or nisheda, they are only redundant. Or they serve the purpose indirectly. And so Upanishads according to them are redundant things. They do not serve a purpose in themselves. If at all, then you cannot say that the Veda Vakya is no Pramanyam. And so they have Pramanyam only indirectly. So they are what they call Arthavada. By Stuti or the Ninda in some way or the other, the Upanishads also serve the purpose of the Vidhi and Nisheda. In this manner, they have already done the Vichara of the whole Vedas, including the Upanishads. Then why are you doing this? The question is, Upanishads are already, there is a Gatar Sattvam, meaning that the meaning of what is the Vishaya or what is the purport of the Upanishads has already been ascertained by the Purva Mimamsakas. Then you, Vedantin, what is it that you are proceeding to do now? Are you going to do something else? Are you trying to tell us that this Vichara has not been done? So if somebody says the Vedanta Vichara has already been done, so there is no need for the Shastra, and we have to prove that the Vichara that is done is not proper Vichara, and therefore Vichara requires to be done. That's the purpose of this Varnakam, this particular section. Says Ratnava Tesham Vicharasya Sakshad Vishayaha Vedantaha. Tesham Sakshad Vishaya. Moksha is ultimately only an indirect follow of the Vichara. But Vichara directly addresses itself to Vedanta. As a result of that, the knowledge is there, which then becomes a means for moksha. Tesham gatar sattva agatar sattvabhyam arambha sandehe. Somebody says that Vedanta meaning Upanishads have already been, what is the content of the Upanishad has already been ascertained by the Purva Mimamsa, and therefore there is no need for another Vichara, a fresh Vichara. And somebody says, no, that has not been done, that is Sandeha is there. Krusnasya Vedasya Vidhiparatvad. According to the Mimamsakas, the whole Veda, including the Upanishad, has its Tatparya in Vidhi. Vidhesya Athato Dharma Jignasa Ityadina Purvatantrena Vicharitatvad. And all the Vidhis, all the enjoinments, Vidhi and Nisheda that form the Vedas, all of them have been thoroughly analyzed in the Purva Mimamsa, beginning from the Sutra Athato Dharma Jignasa. So this Brahma Sutra very much follows the format that is already been established. And Brahma Sutra Bhashya also follows the format of the Bhashya earlier. So upon the Dharma Shastra, a Shabara Muni has written Bhashya. Very beautiful Bhashya. And Shankara Bhashya also follows that style. So the style also is there, the format also is there. So anyway, Athato Dharma Jignasa, there the whole Dharma or Vidhi Nisheda has already been threadbare analyzed. Purva Tantrena Vicharitatva. Tantra there, Purva Tantra is what? Purva Mimamsa. Avagatarthaha eva Vedantaha. And therefore, Vedantaha Avagatartha. Avagata means known. So the meaning of the Vedas, Vedanta has already been ascertained. Iti avyavahita vishaya abhavat. So there is no immediate vishaya. Vyavahitam, that which is remote. Avyavahitam, that which is immediate. And so there is no immediate or new vishaya. So vishaya of Vidhi Nisheda has already been dealt with, and there is no vishaya other than that in the Vedas, and therefore vishaya abhavat. There is no new or fresh vishaya. Na arambha, the Shastra, namely the Sutta Mimamsa, na arambhaniyam, it does not serve any fresh purpose, and therefore you should not undertake the Shastra at all. Iti prapte brute Vedanta iti. When this kind of a question arises, then there is a need to say this. Says Purnanandya, Shri Bhagavata Jaimina Vicharitarthakatvam Gatarthatvam. That Bhagavan Jaimini has already inquired into and ascertained what is the purport of the Vedanta, and therefore Vedantas have already been, there is already an ascertained knowledge of what the Vedantas have to say. So Gatarthatvam, this is called Gatarthatvam. Gatarthatvam means Artha is already gone by, meaning that already the meaning is known. What is Vidhi? Says, now how do they explain Upanishad? That's interesting. We always tell them that Upanishads do not have any Vidhi Vakya. Tattvamasi is not a Vidhi. Aham Brahmasmi is not a Vidhi. Whether it's ling, lot and tavya pratyaya, then it's called Vidhi. So Shrutavya, Mantavya, Tavya pratyaya is Vidhi. But main Vakya of the Upanishad is what? Tattvamasi. Aham Brahmasmi. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So Upanishad only pertains to, or Upanishad addresses itself to statements of facts, and Upanishad doesn't tell us anything that you should do this, because in knowledge there can't be Vidhi. You cannot instruct that may you know this flower as Japa Kusuma, because it is. Or you cannot say that may you know this flower as Jasmine, because it is not. So, since Jnanam is Vastu Tantram, there cannot be Vidhi pertaining to Jnanam. Vidhi or Nisheda can be there where Purusha Tantratvam is there. So karma is always Purusha Tantram. What to do, what not to do, whether to do, whether not to do, all of that being dependent upon me, I need to be told. But knowledge is always determined by the object of knowledge, and therefore Purusha or the individual does not have any choice, so knowledge does not subject itself to Vidhi and Nisheda. So we say that, even though you say that the entire Vedas have their purport in Vidhi Nisheda, we say that no, Upanishads are exception. Because there is no Vidhi Vakya, no Nisheda Vakya. Therefore Upanishad is a different subject matter. It is meant for a different adhikari, has a different Vishaya, different Prayojanam, different Sambandha. And that is how we want to establish Vedanta as a different Shastra. By different Shastra means a different Anubandha Chatushtaya is there. Karma Kanda is one Anubandha Chatushtaya and Vedanta is another Anubandha Chatushtaya. Adhikari for Karma Kanda is a Bubhukshu. Adhikari for Upanishad is a Mumukshu. Vishaya of Karma Kanda is Dharma. Vishaya of the Vedanta is Brahma. Prayojana of Karma Kanda is what? Swarga Prapti, whatever. According to us, Antahakana Shuddhi. And Prayojana of Vedanta is Moksha. Sambandha there is what? That you, after knowing the karma, you must perform the karma. Here, after knowing Brahma, that's all. Nothing needs to be done. And therefore, all the Anubandhas being different, Vedanta, according to us, is to be treated as a different Shastra, which is preceded by Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda forms the background for Vedanta, but Vedanta has altogether different Anubandha Chatushtaya, and therefore you must prove that. That's the reason why Adhikaritva has to be proven, that this is a different Anubandha Chatushtaya. Adhikari of Upanishad is different from the Adhikari of Karma Kanda. That also we have to prove. So Gatar Sattvam is not there. Now how do they explain the role of Vedanta? Says Satchidanandatmako Jivaha Tat Kritam Karma. They say Jiva is Satchidanandaha. And that is how you are being told. It is not that you are really Satchidananda, you are actually Samsari. And still Upanishad says you are Brahma, you are Satchidananda. Why does Upanishad tell you that? So when I am told that I am Satchidananda, I am Brahma, then Satchidanandatmako Jivaha Tat Kritam Karma. Who is doing this karma? Karma is being done by one who is Satchidananda, who is Brahma. So the idea is not really to glorify you, but to glorify karma. Kim karma mahatmyam, kim vaktavyam. When Vedic karma is performed by one who is Satchidananda, what to talk of that karma? How great that karma is. And that is how, by calling you Brahma, the idea is only to praise karma. By praising karta, the idea is to praise karma. Karma mahatmam kim vaktavyam iti karma stavakatvena sarvesham vedantanam arthavadatvam. All the Vedantas or Upanishads are what? Karma stavaka, meaning those which praise karma. By way of praising the karta, the idea is to praise the karma. And when you praise the karma, then you are motivated to perform karma. And that is how this is called Arthavada, which serves the purpose of the Vidhi, which is there in the Karma Kanda. So, Karma Stavakatvena, Sarvesham Vedantanam, Arthavadatvam, all the Vedantas, meaning Upanishads, they occupy the role of Arthavada. Jivasya tu Satchidanandatmakatvam avastavam. But then Jiva is not really Satchidananda. Then Kintu Stotrartham. That Jiva is being told. Sometimes we praise a fellow. If when you want him to do something, or when you want to get something out of the fellow, then you say, hey, you are really great, and this, that. Then he'll give you a hall or whatever, something. That is how people function in this world. Suppose you want some donation, then you tell him how generous he is, etc. Or how great he is. And so there is stuti always involved when you want to get something done. Similarly also, Vedas want to motivate this fellow to perform action. So they tell him, you are great, you are Satchidananda, you are Brahma, And therefore, he says, really I am? And that's why he starts doing what he has to do. And that is how he says, Satchidanandatmakam jivasyatu avastavam. It is not real. Kintu stotrartham. It is merely, stotra means only stutyartham. It is only to praise him. Itevam purvatantra vichareva vicharitatvat. And this is how the Purva Mimamsakas have already ascertained the role of Vedanta with reference to karma. So it's already known what is the purpose of Vedanta. So Purvatantra vichareva vicharitatvat. And so in the vichara, in the karma kanda itself, or dharma shastra, already these Vedantas have been ascertained what they have to contribute. Avagatarthaha eva Vedantaha iti bhava. And therefore, the Vedantaha avagatarthaha, meaning that artha or the purport has already been avagata, meaning already been known. So what happens? Iti phalitam avyavahita vishaya abhavat. Iti padam hetvarthakam avyavahitasya purvatantra vicharitattvena buddhisthasya pratipadyasya abhavat. Since Brahma or Vedanta has already been inquired into the Purvatantra, therefore now in your buddhi nothing remains to be known. See, if there is something which has not been covered by the Purvatantra, then you will want to know what is this. So if Vedanta is not covered by the Purvatantra, by Purva Mimamsa, then that question will remain in your mind, Buddhistham, that still I have not understood what the Upanishads have to say. In that case, it is avagata sattvam, there is a Vishaya there, and then this kind of Vichara would be justified. So Buddhisthasya pratipadyasya abhavad ityartha. Purvatantre vicharitatvad Vedantanam kenapi tantrena avicharitam sad buddhi vishaya kinchit pratipadyam vastu nasti iti bhavaha. And since whatever the Vedantas have to say has already been covered in the Dharma Shastra, therefore nothing remains now to be known. So buddhi doesn't have any jignasa. How about this? How about this? It's already covered. This is all stuti, arthavada, and so it's all covered. And therefore, no fresh questions remain. Iti prapte brute. When this situation arises, that somebody will say that there doesn't seem to be any reason for you to now spend time in understanding what Vedantas have to say, then it is brute Vedanta iti. Then Bhashyakara says, Vedanta Mimamsa Shastrasya Vyachikhyasitasya Idam Adimam Sutram Asato Brahma Jignasa. Vedanta Mimamsa Shastrasya. What is Mimamsa? Pujita Vichara Mimamsa. So Vedanta Vichara Mimamsa Shastra, Ratnaprabhu explains Vedanta Vishayaka Mimamsa. Where Vedanta is the Vishaya or the subject matter of Mimamsa or Vichara is called Vedanta Mimamsa. Vedantasya Mimamsa, Vedanta, where there are 6 cases in the sense of Vishaya. So Vedanta Vishayaka, so Vedantaha Vishaya Yasya Saha Vedanta Vishayakaha. Pujit Vicharatmaka Shastrasya. What is the nature of Shastra? Vicharatmakam Shastram. Vichara is the very Atma of the Shastra. So, and Pujita Vichara. What is Pujitatvam? Vicharasya Pujitatvam Sarva Vichara Apeksha Utkrishtatvam. So, that Vicharasya Pujitatvam. That you carry out Vichara about physics and chemistry and biology also, but Vichara of Brahma is enjoy the position which is most exalted. And so this vichara is most exalted, and therefore it's called pujita vichara. So it's called Mimamsa. Vedanta Vishayaka Pujita Vicharatmaka Shastrasya Vyakhyatum Vyachikhyaasitasya Vyakhyatum Ishtasya. This Shastra, which is of the nature of Vichara, having its Vishaya as Vedanta, is Vyakhyatum Ishtasya. It is only proper, or it deserves to be inquired into, or deserves to be expounded. Vyakhyatum Ishtasya. Sutra Sandarbhasya Shastrasya is what? Sutra Sandarbhasya Shastra is what? Brahma Sutram. Sutra Sandarbha means Sutra Samuha. Sutra Sandarbhasya Idam Prasamam Sutram. So this Shastra, which is nothing but a group of sutras, this is Adimam Sutram, meaning Prasamam Sutram. Mityartha. Now Ratnaprabha says, Yadi Vidhi eva Vedartha syat tada sarvagnyah badarayanah brahma jignasam na bruyat. Now, yadi vidhi eva Vedartha syat. Vedartha means suppose vidhi, nisheda, or enjoyment of karma, etc. alone were the intention or the purport of the Vedas, then Bhagavan badarayanah. So sarvagnyah badarayanah. Badarayana is Sarvagnya because he is Bhagavan. He is supposed to be the Amsha of Lord Vishnu himself, and therefore he knows what all is to be known. So he is, even though Jaimini also is called Bhagavan, so Bhagavan Jaimini they say, but then Bhagavan Badarayana also is Sarvagnya. And therefore he also has studied the Vedas and he knows that Vedanta has a different subject matter. It has a different prayojanam. It has a different adhikari. It has a different this Anubandha Chatushtaya. Since he knows it, therefore he proceeds to write these sutras. Otherwise, why should he do that? So here the Pramanam is what? Only Aptavakyam. The fact that someone or none less than Badarayana himself thought it necessary to write these sutras or write an exposition on Vedanta shows that Vedantas have something new to contribute. That what has been thought about Vedanta, or the kind of ascertainment that earlier Acharyas have done about Vedanta is not proper. This is what Badarayana thinks, and therefore he has written this. So what? Badarayana has written, so what? Says Sutrakartuhu Sri Vedavyasasya Bhrantim Varayati. Suppose Badarayana can be Bhranta. Suppose he can be also, he may have some his own difficulty, and so he may have his own notions, delusions. He says Sarvagnya Badarayana. If you and I do that, well, we can be called Bhrantaha, but Badarayana is Sarvagnya. He is Avatara Purusha. And that's what he said, that, what is it, the name of the Rishi? Well, I forget. But then Shankaracharya mentions the name of the Rishi also who was asked to take the avatara as Badarayana. Idea is that the wise people who are already liberated, they are not born again. But in some special cases, they are also born. They are called Adhikari Purusha. And so Badarayana is one of those. And we would say Shankaracharya also is one of those, in the sense that it is not that they were ignorant and born. They are not Bhagavan in the sense also that they are not like Lord Krishna or Lord Rama having Shadaishwarya, etc. At the same time, they are wise people and still born to serve a certain purpose or serve a certain mission. They are missionaries, meaning have come here to fulfill a certain mission of God. And therefore, Lord Himself, as though, tells them to be born and accomplish a certain purpose. And so, Badarayana also is one of those. Because of tremendous tapasya that they have performed before gaining the knowledge, on account of those tapasya they have gained certain siddhis and gained certain adhikaritvam, yogyata, because of which they are fit to perform certain tasks, and therefore those people are given those tasks. That's the idea. Even though they don't require it for themselves, but still to fulfill the purpose of the creation, they are given those tasks or mission, and they are born to fulfill those missions. This is the idea there. Otherwise you cannot explain such people as Badarayana or Vasishtha and all these people. And so he said that they are all adhikari purushas. Apantaratamah, that's the name. So Apantaratamah was the name of a rishi who was wise and still was asked by Lord Vishnu himself to take avatara, to be born as Badarayana. So he is Sarvajna, and therefore he is not a Bhranta Purusha. And therefore what he says must be taken seriously, So what should you take seriously and what you should not? So what Badarayana says has to be taken seriously. And when he considers it necessary to write the Sutra Sandarbha, shows that according to him there is a different Anubandha Chatushtaya, that Vedanta has something new to contribute, that which is not contributed by Karma Kanda, or that this Sutra Sandarbha has something new to contribute, which contribution has not been there in the Dharma Sutras. And therefore, we say that this Vedanta Shastra is Vicharayitavyam. Says, Yadi vidhi eva vedasa syat, Ratnavara says, Sarvajño Badarayana Brahma Jignasam na bruyat. If Vidhi Nisheda alone were the purport of the Vedas, then Badarayana should know better. And still he writes this Brahma Sutra or Brahma Jignasa or Brahma Vichara that shows that according to him, Vedas have something more to contribute more than Vidhi and Nisheda. So Badarayana Sarvajña Brahma Jignasam na bruyat. Why? Brahmani mana bhavat. If there is no manam or pramanam in Brahma, then nobody can write sutras pertaining to Brahma. Says here, Purnanandiya, Badarayana Shabdaha Vyakhyataha, on the page 5. So anyway, he doesn't explain the word again. On the page 5, when the first time this word appeared, Badarayana, then says towards the last 1/3, Badaraha, Badari Vrikshaha, Yasmin Deshe Santi, Saha Desha Vishesha, Badaraha. So that particular country where a lot of these Badari Vrikshas are there, berry trees are there, berry plants, that is called Badaraha. Sa eva ayanam sthanam yasya saha Badarayanaha. And that Badari, that Badara is ayanam or the sthanam or the place where one lived is called Badarayanaha. So Sri Vedavyasa, there is a thing that Badarayana and Vedavyasa are one alone. So reminding us that he says Badarayana Shabdaha Vyakhyataha. Then says Yadi Vidhi eva Vedartha syat tada Vidhi Vicharena Krishna Veda Vicharaha Jataha eva iti Vedantanam Arthavadattvena Brahma Pratipadakatva Bhavad Brahmani Pramana Abhavena प्रथम सूत्रे ब्रह्म जिज्ञासत्व उक्ते है वैयर्थ्यम स्यादिति भावः. यदि विधि एव वेदार्थ स्यात्, if as Jaimini has said, vidhi and nisheda alone is the vedartha, is the meaning of the Veda or what the Vedas have to convey, tada vidhi vicharena krishna veda vicharah jatah eva iti. Then by understanding or inquiring into what's the nature of vidhi, you have already inquired into the total nature of Vedas, because Vedas means Vidhi. In that case, Krishna Veda Vichara Jataha, the entire Veda Vichara is supposed to have been done. Iti Vedantanam Arthavadattvena. And in that way, Vedanta, the Upanishads fall in the category of Arthavada, as we said earlier. Brahma Pratipadakatva Bhavad. Then Arthavada does not have Swarthe Tatparyam. If Vedantas were independent section, in that case they can have an independent Vishaya. In as much as Vedantas only have the nature of Arthavada, therefore they serve the purpose of Vidhi, and so Brahma, which appears to be the Vishaya of Vedanta, Vedanta do not have Tatparya in Brahma, because Vedantas have Tatparya in Vidhi. So Arthavada does not have Tatparya in itself, has Tatparya in something else. And so Brahma is not the Vishaya of Vedanta, only Vidhi is the Vishaya of Vedanta. In that case, Brahma Pratipadakatva Abhavad. So you cannot say the Vedantas do the Pratipadanam of Brahman. Brahmani Pramana Abhavena. And we have no other Pramanam of establishing what is Brahman. So Prathama Sutre Brahma Jignasatva Uktehe Vayartyam Syat. And then we say Athado Brahma Jignasa, meaning Athado Brahma Vicharah Kartavya. Then how can you do the Brahma Vichara unless there is Pramanam? Brahma Vichara is Pramana Vichara. What is Pramana Vichara? Vedanta Vichara. Vedanta is Pramanam for Brahman. And so we are doing Pramana Vichara here. But when there is no pramanam, there cannot be vichara also. So pramana bhavat vichara brahmani mana bhavat vichara vaiyartyam. Since there is no pramanam in Brahma, because Vedanta is not pramanam of Brahma, it is pramanam with reference to Vidhi, therefore there is no pramanam for Brahma, and therefore pramana abhavena prathama sutre brahma jignasatva uktehe. When the first sutra says Brahma is jignasa vishayah vayartham syadadi bhavaha, that prathama sutra would be redundant because there is no pramana for Brahman, and therefore how are you going to do pramana vichara? अतः शब्दार्थम कथयन फलितमाह. सो रत्नप्रभा अतः ब्रह्मणः जिज्ञास्यत्वोक्त्या केनापि तंत्रेण अनवगत ब्रह्म पर वेदांत विचार आरंभणीयः इति सूत्रकृत दर्शयति. When सूत्रकार, सूत्रकृत means सूत्रकारः, when सूत्रकार says अथातो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा, ब्रह्मणः जिज्ञास्यत्वोक्त्या, that Brahma is जिज्ञास्यम, Brahma becomes the Vishaya of Jignasa. Because by study of the Vedas and by study of the Purva Tantra, namely Purva Mimamsa, still I have not come to know what Brahma is. So Jignasa, Brahma still remains in my mind. What is Brahma? And therefore, one who has studied the Purva Tantra and one who has adequate qualifications will automatically have desire to know Brahma, because Brahma has not been covered by the Purva Tantra, and so Brahma Jignasa will arise. And when Brahma Jignasa or desire to know Brahman arises, that desire can be fulfilled only by Brahma Vichara. And therefore, Ataha Brahmana Jignasyatva Uktya. Since the first sutra says Brahma is Jignasa Vishaya, Kena api tantrena anavagata Brahma paravedant vichara arambhaniya. Meaning that by no other tantra or no other shastra, Brahma has been ascertained what the nature of Brahma is, and therefore Vedanta vichara arambhaniya. Therefore, one must commence Vedanta vichara. What is Anavagata Brahma Paravedanta Vichara? Purnanandi explains, Anavagatam avicharitattvena ajñātam yad Brahma tadeva param pradhanam visya Vedantasya saha Brahma paraha sachasau Vedantasya tasya vichara iti vigraha. Idea is that Brahma is Anavagatam, meaning not yet known. Avicharitattvena ajñātam. Since even Purva Mimamsa does not subject itself to the nature of inquiry into Brahma, therefore, in spite of the Purva Mimamsa, Brahma still remains unknown or unascertained. Ajñātam yad Brahma, that Brahman which is not yet known because no vichara has been performed about it. Tadeva param pradhanam anavagata Brahma param. Vedanta is what? Dedicated to or committed to Brahma. Thus param means pradhanam yasya Vedantasya. So that Brahma itself is the pradhanam or the main subject of Vedanta. Saha Vedant, Saha Brahma Paraha. So that Vichara is Brahma Paraha. Vichara which addresses itself to Brahma. Sachaso Vedantascha Tasya Vichara. So Brahma Paraha and Sachaso Vedantascha Tasya Vichara. So Brahma Para Vedanta. So that which is Brahma Para and that which is Vedanta. So this is a Karmadhara Samasam. Vedanta is what? Brahma Param. Vedanta has Brahma as the principal subject matter of discussion. Tasya Vichara. Vedanta such as this, the Vichara of Vedanta, which has Brahma as the principal topic. Even though Upasana are there, Srishti also is there, but what is the Paratvam, what is the Pradhana Vishaya of Vedanta? Is Brahma. And Vichara of that Brahma is called Anavagata Brahma Paravedanta Vichara Arambhaniya. We must be commenced. It is Sutrakrut Darshayati, without actually saying it in so many words. Simply by writing Sutra Athado Brahma Jignasa, the Sutrakara shows that Brahma is what? Anavagatam. Meaning Brahma is not yet known from any other Tantra. And Brahma is that which is subject matter, principal subject matter of Vedanta. And therefore Brahma Vichara is nothing but Vedanta Vichara, because Vedanta is Pramana of Brahma. All of this is being said by Sutrakara simply by writing Sutra Athato Brahma Jignasa. And who writes this Sutra? Badarayana, who is Sarvajna, who is not Bhranta, so there must be a reason. That according to Badarayana, so the Purva Mimamsa does not do justice to Brahma, even does not do justice to Vedanta. Even though they may have done Vedanta Vichara, they have not done it properly. And therefore, a proper Vedanta Vichara is necessary. सो उक्ते अर्थे श्री भाष्यकार सम्मतिमाह तच्च इति। तच्च मीन्स आरंभणीयत्वम, तच्च आरंभणीयत्वम व्याचिख्यासितस्येति पदेन भाष्यकारः बभाषे। And Bhashyakar also agrees with Badarayana. How does it agree? Vyachikhyasidasya Vedanta Mimamsa Shastrasya. Vyachikhyasidam means what? Vyakhyadam ishtam. That is desirable to be expounded. So Bhashyakara sees the desirability of exposition of Vedanta Shastra, which means he also agrees that Vedanta Shastra is desirable to expound it. So Bhashyakara also gives this concurrence. So Taccha Vyachikhyasidasya padena Bhashyakara Bhavashe Tad Arambhaniyatvam. That Vedanta Shastra is Arambhaniyam. That Arambhaniyatvam is also concurred by Bhashyakara when Bhashyakara says Vyachikhyasidasya Vyakhyatum Ishtasya. Otherwise, why should Bhashyakara write a Vyakhya? This is another one. That suppose Badarayana for whatever reason composed a sutra, but none less than Shankaracharya has written Bhashya, that itself shows that there is some validity there. So since Shankaracharya wrote Bhashya shows there is a validity in Sutra, and since Badarayana wrote Sutra, that shows there is validity in Vedanta, and therefore we are actually doing Vichara of the Vedanta. And therefore Vedanta Shastram Arambhaniyam. So Prasama Sutrasya Dvitiya Varnakam Samaptam. This is the second Varnaka. Prasama Varnaka discussed Adhyasa. This Dvitiya Varnaka discussed the Katarthatvam, Akatarthatvam of Brahma. Tritiya Varnakam will discuss the Adhikaritvam now. Adhikari Sambhava Sambhava, that is subject matter of Tritiya Varnaka. And fourth Varnaka is whether Brahma is Prasiddham or Aprasiddham. Brahma is known or unknown. So this is how the first sutra is divided into four Varnakas, of which the second Varnakam is concluded. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Omkarascha Shabdascha Dvavetau Brahmana Pura Kantham Vitva Viniriyatau Tasman Mangalika Vubhau. Om Atha Om Atha Om Atha Gocharayoho Vishay Vishayinoho Tamah Prakashavad Viruddha Swabhavayoho Itaretar Bhavanupattau Siddhayam Tadharmanam Visutaram Itaretar Bhavanupattih Ityadaha Asmat Pratyay Gochare Vishayini Chidatmake Yushmat Pratyay Gocharasya Vishayasya Tadharmanancha Adhyasaha Tadviparyayena Vishayinaha Tadharmanancha Vishaye Adhyasaha Mithyed Bhavitum Yuktam Tathapi Vyachikhyaasitasya Idam Adimam Sutram Athato Brahma Jignasa. Now continuing the discussion, the page 66, Ratna Prabhakara says, Evam Varnakadvayena Vedanta Vicharasya Kartavyatayam Vishaya Prayojanavattvam Agadarthatvam Chaiti Hetudvayam Sutrasya Asikartam Vyakhyaya. So Evam Varnakadvayena, by these two first Varnakas, in two sections, Vedanta Vicharasya Kartavyatayam, Vedanta Vicharaha kartavya, that Vedanta vichara must perform. There is a kartavyata there. In this kartavyata, Vishaya Prayojanavatvam, this kartavyata requires Anubandha Chatushtaya, requires Vishaya, Prayojana, Adhikari and Sambandha. Of the four, Vishaya Prayojanavatvam, that by Adhyasa Bhashya, Adhyasa Varnakam, the Vishaya Prayojanavatvam was established. Another Shanka was there, Gatarthatvam, Vedantanam Gatarthatvam, Agatarthatvam va, Agatarthatvam cha. So, Kartavyata requires, Vichara Kartavyata requires Agatarthatvam of the Vichara Vishaya. Because if the Vichara has already been done, there is no point in your doing Vichara again. And if someone can prove, this is too low, if someone can prove that Dharma Jignasa in the Purva Mimamsa, the Vedanta Vichara also has been done, then there is no Vichara Kartavyata remaining anymore. So, Agatarthatvam, that there is no Gatarthatvam, meaning that Dharma Shastra, Dharma Vichara does not include Vedanta Vichara. Or the manner in which they have done the Vichara is not the manner which is proper, which doesn't do justice to this Vedanta, having shown that. Iti hetudvayam sutrasya artikartham vyakhyaya. Athado Brahma Jignasa, this sutra suggests these meanings. Even though directly it doesn't say there is Vishaya Prayojana or Agatarthatvam, but the very fact that there is a sutra shows that there is Agatarthatvam, that this has not been covered earlier, and that there is a Kartavyata, therefore that shows that there is Vishaya Prayojanavatvam, and we have to search it out. So we have to find out what Vishaya Prayojana is there. There is a suchanam there, a suggestion, that since Vedanta Vichara Kartavyata is there, Vedanta Vichara Kartavya, so since that instruction is there, enjoinment is there, that Vishaya Prayojanam must be there, otherwise nobody can proceed to do any Vichara. So how can you establish Vishaya Prayojanavatvam? Then that was established by this Adhyasa. So all of this Arthikartham Vyakhyaya. The sutra does not directly say this, but then it suggests by its very being there. Akshara Vyakhyam Arabhamana. Now Atha Brahma Jignasa. The first sutra consists of the three words, that's all. Atha Ataha Brahma Jignasa. That makes it Athato Brahma Jignasa. So Akshara Vyakhyam Arabhamana. Bhashyakara who is desirous of now, who wants to start this Akshara Vyakhya, explain each word of the sutra. Punarapi Adhikari Bhava Bhavabhyam Shastrarambha Sandehe Sati. Again there is a Shastrarambha. So first sutra in fact answers all the various doubts that can arise in Shastrarambha or Shastra Vichara. Another doubt is whether Adhikari is there or not. Adhikari Bhava Abhavabhyam. After all, Shastra Vichara will be fruitful only when there is an Adhikari. There is someone who is going to be benefited by this Vichara. Is there such a person? So, if there is no Adhikari, then Shastra Vichara also is not meaningful. So, Shastra Arambha Sandehe Sati, this question having again this doubt having arisen, Atha Shabdasya Anantaryarthakatvoktya Adhikaranam Sadhayati. Now, Adhikaranam, Adhikari, that there is an Adhikari, a qualified student, that such a thing is there, Adhikaritvam for Vedanta is there. And that Sutrakara now directly says, why? Atha Shabda. So Bhashyakara tells us here, Atha Ataha Brahma Jignasa. The purpose of Atha is to indicate Adhikari. And when would that be? Word Atha, as we will see, has several meanings. Only when that word Atha is interpreted as Anantaryam. Anantarya means something following another thing. Nasti antaram yasya saha anantaraha. That for which there is no antara or distance is called anantaraha. So anantarasya bhavaha anantaryam. So when one thing immediately follows another one, it is called anantaryam. Following in succession without any distance. So when one thing immediately follows the other thing, it is called anantaryam. And in the Atha Shabda of the Sutra, the meaning of that word is Anantaryam. Something immediately follows something else. Brahma vichara kartavya hai, athato Brahma jignasa. That Brahma jignasa immediately follows something. That's what Sutrakara wants to say. What is that? What is that when which is that Brahma jignasa immediately takes place? And that when Brahma jignasa is there, Brahma vichara must be conducted. So how come Sutrakara doesn't say athato Brahma vichara? Why does Sutrakara say athato Brahma jignasa? Because Brahma jignasa is what follows something that precedes, which is indicated by the word atha. Atha is adhikaritvam, sadhana chatushtaya sampannatvam. So when one is possessed of that sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, viveka vairagya adi sampatti, then Brahma jignasa follows as a matter of course. It's an effect. So between adhikaritvam and Brahma jignasa, what is the relationship is one of cause and effect. And that is why only when atha shabda is interpreted as anantarya, that something after, so after this anantaryam, after something, that Brahma jignasa is. And what is it? That remains to be then thought about. But why interpreting the word atha as anantarya? Bhashyakara derives the meaning as that adhikaritva must precede. Only after the adhikaritva is there, that Brahma jignasa is. So when you say anantarya, meaning following something, or thereafter, anantarya means thereafter. Thereafter, therefore, ataha means therefore, Brahma jignasa. What do you mean thereafter? Only when there something has taken place, then alone you will say thereafter. So something must necessarily take place for Brahma jignasa to occur. And what is it that you must say? And that is adhikaritvam. The adhikaritvam having been there, ataha, and since Brahma jignasa is there, ataha therefore Brahma vicharaha kartavyaha. Yataha Brahma jignasa asti, ataha Brahma vicharaha kartavyaha. When adhikaritvam is there, since Brahma jignasa or desire to know Brahma necessarily takes place, in that heart automatically there will be desire, because when sattva is there, sattvat sanjayate jnanam. When the mind is sattvic, then the desire for knowledge is automatic. When the mind is rajas, lobha, pravrittirarambha, that kama, lobha, etc. will be there in the mind which is rajas. And when there is tamas, then krodha, etc. will be there. So, this is what the mind automatically manifests. And when the mind is sattvic, and that is what is indicated by sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, the desire for knowledge will be automatically there. And that too, when this kind of sampatti is there, even a scientist also has a desire for knowledge, that shows a certain state of mind. But at the same time, that samadhi shatka sampatti is not there necessarily. That ragadvesha, rahityam or tidiksha, etc. a scientist may not have. He may have viveka, vairagya with reference to something. But since samadhi shatka sampatti is not there, that jignasa pertains to some worldly affair and not necessarily pertaining to Atma.